Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Getting Dirty with Peanut. I am Peanut. I got a little project going on, and I got to work here in the shop for the rest of the week. And I thought, boy, what a good time to show you guys a little bit about how my weeks go sometimes. And we're going to get started. I had to go get this because what I got to work on, which we'll get to later in the video, is quite heavy. And so I needed something that will lift it and stick it into a small hole. I'm hoping this is going to work out. What we got here is, let me show you. It's the cheapest one that Harbor Freight makes. And it'll pick up 1,000 or 2,000 pounds. And I got to pick up about 300, 400. So anyway, we'll get started and unpack all this, see what we got, go through the instructions, set up some tools, and do all that. And it's getting late in the day, so if I can get this set up today, then tomorrow morning, bright and early, we'll move here into the shop and start tear down and see if we can make it happen in one day. All right. Oh yeah, this will be fun. Nice. Big bag of bolts. And a host of bolts I need, that I really need, are buried down in here to hold the wheels on. I would have built it inside the shop, but it's hot in there. I got fans running now trying to cool it down. It's a lot nicer out here. There we go. It's working. Yeah, I put those legs on the opposite side. Pittsburgh to the inside, but that don't matter. A wheel is a wheel is a wheel. And we got her fixed up here. This one is just a 1 ton. It's small, which is what I wanted. And that is going to do it for tonight. I'm running out of steam. I had to drive about 4.5 hours to get here today. And but I think that's going to do it. And I will see you all first thing in the morning. So be up early, have your coffee, and be ready to get to work. I'll see you in the morning. Good morning, everybody. Man, we are going to be getting this one done today. I'm going to give you an idea of what we're looking at here because got a pretty big job to do, and I'll show you what all we got to get done and see if we can't get all of this knocked out today. Right here, what you're looking at is what we got to replace, and that is the air compressor, and this is what supplies air pressure to the brakes. So without this, we have no brakes. And to give you an idea, here's the 2 alternators, and that thing sits behind in that hole of these behind these 2 alternators. So bear with me. What we're going to do is we're going to get some of this knocked out here real quick, and then I'll get some of this stuff out of the way, and we'll pull them alternators out of the way, and I'll get you in here so you can watch and see how I do it, and we'll go on from there. Yeah, I like to use a big long bar on that. Okay. Now we're going to go around the other side, undo the batteries, and try to get all that done. But first, coffee time. Every good day should start with a cup of coffee. Only I can fight this. Okay, I'm going to show you why I got this cherry picker. There we go. Now you can understand why I got this cherry picker, because that thing is really heavy. And with the spot that it's going into, I mean, yeah, I can pick it up, but with the spot that it's got to go into, it's too hard to try to hold it up there to get bolts in it, because we have bolts around this flange. Now that the batteries are disconnected, now I can take the wires off the back of the alternator, and we can get that addressed. And then it's just a matter of unbolting the alternator and getting it up out of the way. Let me get these wires zipped off the back of this thing. And I got to pull the fuel pump off the back of the air compressor also, because the fuel pump attaches to the back of it. And then we'll get in there and zippity-doo-dah the air lines off. We'll get these two things out of the way. We'll get the air lines off, and then we'll get the crane in there and pick up that air compressor and pop it out of the hole, lift it up and bring it out here and set it on the floor. So stand by. Here we go. That's not good. Why ain't that come? I don't understand why that's so tight in there. Okay. Well, here's where we're at. As you can see, the big hole here now. Got that alternator out. I'd really like to pull this one out too, but this bolt is seized up and I'm really having a difficult time getting that out of there. And but I need to access this anyway, because I got to get in here. If you can see, right there. If I can get my big hands out of the way, right what I'm pointing at. That big nut. You can see how rusted that is. And this this bus is 23 years old, and I'm going to venture to say it's a safe bet that that line's never been on. So wish me luck, because I've got to try to get that off without breaking it, so I'm not replacing the line that goes all the way up to the front. So, like I say, wish me luck. Stand by. Okay, so here's where we're at. It is ready to come out. It is that piece right there, that big, greasy, nasty thing. That's what we're pulling out of there. Hope I can get it lift high enough. Had to put those on. Okay. Last bolt coming out. Okay, we should be free. I just don't think, I can't understand why there's so much more antifreeze in this. It's just now starting to come out. I've drained 15 gallons out of it. Are you kidding me? Another hose. Okay, let me get back on the other side. I'm going to have to change gloves again. This thing has been leaking oil so long, as you can see. I cannot believe that thing is still running out. then I've completely evacuated the system. So I don't even know where this antifreeze is coming from. Voila. There's what we got. Right there. And as you can see, I'd say it has been leaking for a long time. That hose seems to be okay. I gotta get all the plugs and all the fittings out. And all of those things. This is completely broke. I'm going to get gasket glue, and then I want to clean everything up as I take it off and transfer it to the new one. That way, everything is back in its right spot. Stand by. I'm going to go get what I need from the store, and then we'll get right back on it, and we're going to get that other one put in. My goal is to get this whole back end back here done today. So hang in there. All right, I'm back from the parts store. Now we're going to try to get, this cleaned up. Get all this off. If I can clean it up before I take it out, then a little easier to transfer it. Am I making a big mess on the floor? Absolutely I am. Am I going to clean it up? Yes, I am. And I went to Harbor Freight and I found a cool new fits-all wrench. Look at this thing. It's got a handle like a ratchet in it. Man, I love that. I knew I had one. But we got to do it this old way. All right. Let's see if we can get that cleaned up a little bit, and we'll start putting that in there. Getting all that put together. I go through a lot of these. My hands still get dirty, but not as bad. I don't like to climb in my pickup like that. The type of hand cleaner I usually use is called mule wipes, big mule wipes. They seem to work pretty good. They were out, so I got this stuff, And don't laugh. It's called hand job. Can't make it up. Hand job. But we're going to see how well that works here in just a little bit. Sometimes you just get tired of asking. Then it comes out looking just like that. Nice and clean and shiny. Now we can put it together. And by the way, everyone, just to let you know, that is my biggest fan. Just so you know. And if you're wondering, no, this is not a Permatex gasket maker. It's actually a shellac. And what it does is I'm going to put it on here. And then when I stick the gasket on there, it'll hold that gasket. It'll actually glue it there. I'll have to give it a little bit of time to dry. But it will glue it in place. And no more problems. It'll be pretty nice. Well, we almost too messed up, Uncle Rupert. Now here's the thing, when you're applying this, see this, you want to put it on like so it's turning in the direction that you're tightening the bolt. Because if you go the other way, it'll just peel it off as you're trying to screw it in there. Just a little tip for you. Hey, do you guys lose tools like I do? Because I lose them all the time. All right. Well, let's see if we can. I had to do some more running. Never fails. All right, and the air governor will go on this side of it. But I think I'll wait to put the air governor in until I get it in there. So now what I want to do is kind of lightly, I'm going to try picking this up a little different. Well, I hope that's going to work. If it slips off of there, it's going to damage everything. But let's hope not. All I got to do is now set it back down so I can put the gasket on and let it dry a little bit. Well, I got to say, Now, I don't get paid for this at all. And I don't have any kind of endorsement from this company right here. But these things are fantastic. Um, they they really work. They're called Manufacturer for Dang Good Products. Handjobsoap.com, Nevada, Texas. So there you go. It's local Texas thing. It's called Handjob. I don't have an endorsement for them or anything, but I sure would take one if they wanted to offer it. I can tell you that right now, because those work good. Okay, now let's go ahead and get some goopy sticky stuff on this surface and put that gasket on there and let it dry for a little bit so I'm not fighting with it. What I like to do is just shove a couple bolts in there like that, and that'll help let this tack up. All right. All right, stand by. Give me some refreshments. Good cold bottle of water. Because it's probably 100 degrees in this shop right now. I got a couple more fittings to put in there yet. And I got a hose I got to cut to match up to the old one that broke. And then I'll get that hose on this piece and get it hose clamped down before we go in. And that way when it goes in, I can just put it on the fitting on the block. And the other one, I'll just have to fight with it. Get it in there and get it lined up. All right, well, we're going to let this dry for a few, and about 15, 20 minutes or so, and then we'll get to stabbing this thing back in there. Well, okay, so here's where I'm at. I got her about in there. I got it resting on the stud. Now we just have to get the gears to line up. So stand by. Okay, we got the compressor in. My camera died and I didn't realize that I was busy working. So we missed a little, but the air compressor's in. I've got to put the air governor in yet. I say governor. I've got to put the fuel pump back in now. That's what I'm going to do now, and then I'll do the air governor, and hopefully with the angle that you see on the camera, you should be able to see what I'm doing here. And we'll get this knocked out. We're really getting close to buttoning up, and it's sure been a long day, I'm going to tell you. But that's okay. Bad thing is you can't get a impact or anything like that I'm actually using a ratchet wrench. And to tell you how small it is, the bolts take an 8mm wrench, which is pretty tiny. I'll show it to you here in just a minute. And then that's going to do it for that. And then it's time to start hanging brackets. Put the alternators back in. Fill it up with antifreeze. And get it back fired up.
Oh, where the dirt meets the sky and the fields roll wide. We're the backbone of the South, we're the fire inside. When the storm rolls in, we don't break, we don't bend. We dig in our boots, stand tall till the end. From the backwoods to the bayou, we've walked this land with a six-string in hand and a steel-eyed stand. Through the mud and the blood, we built our pride with a southern roar that can't be denied. When the lightning strikes, we crank it loud with a rebel soul, standing out in the crowd with a guitar riff and a heart full of grit. We're ready to roll, never gonna quit. Feel that southern thunder rattle in the night. Born in the backwoods, ready for the fight. We're the sons and daughters of the red, white, and blue.
Okay. As you can see, I'm pretty dirty. All that's buttoned up. That takes a little time. There's a lot of little, what they call flare fittings. Let me see if I got one. I'll show you. It'll look like this. And then there's a nut that comes down with a line on it, whatever line, oil line, air line. It just keeps them from leaking. Huh. I even got stuff on my glass. That was the messiest one I've had to work on in a while, though. That thing had been leaking oil for quite a while, and it made a pretty big mess. But that's what they build showers for. Get in there and get all clean. And now what we're going to do, though, we're going to go ahead and put that big heavy bracket back on and start feeding the bolts to it. And then we'll start setting the alternators. And then we just got to hook the wires up for the alternators. All right. Now we got a great big bracket that goes here. And so what we got to do now is get that bracket in, put the 4 bolts in it, and then we start hanging alternators on that bracket. Oh, a wrench. When I tell you that thing is heavy, I mean that thing's heavy. I thought it was aluminum, but it's cast iron. And don't ever beat on cast iron with a, or aluminum for that matter, with a regular steel hammer. You want to use a hammer like this. It's a dead blow. It's got shot shells in it, if you can hear them. And this won't damage it. A steel hammer can crack that cast iron, and they're really not easy to weld. Oh, well. I've never gotten that close on the first try. Not ever. And just to give you a heads up, they're not light. Not at all. Them alternators are a booger, but we're getting it. And we got one more to go. And that one's going to be a booger. We got the alternators back in. Now I got to go in there and wire them up. It shouldn't take too awful long. Once those are wired up, then we got to fill it up with antifreeze and then get it started and let it sit here and run a while and burp the system out. And then we'll top it off with antifreeze. Then it should be good to go, hopefully. So stand by. Well, if it works, is it a bad idea? It's slow, but it's siphoning the antifreeze back in. I was worried the crane wouldn't get up high enough, but it does, which is good. Now I just have to wait. And I got everything else is buttoned up and all put together. Here, I can show you what we got here. It's all in and put together. Got the batteries hooked back up. And I think what we're going to do is I'm going to get this thing filled back up with antifreeze and then run a cycle on it. And then I will get back on it in the morning, and we got a few odds and ends to button up. And I will get back on it in the morning because it's getting pretty late. And I've been at it about 15 hours now. So I think what I'll do is just finish this because I got to be able to start it to get it back in the barn all the way. And once I get this done, then I will put it in the barn and go take a shower, get a good night's sleep, and I will see y'all first thing in the morning. Have a good night. Hey, good morning, everybody. Yeah, it's loud. We got it up and running. Let's see what we can do. Trying to let the antifreeze circulate. Stand by. Well, it's back up and running. I might need to adjust the air governor a little bit. It's kind of slow on building, but we're going to see how that does. And if I hadn't said it already, top of the morning to you. It is the next day, but I have got a mess. And when I say I got a mess, I mean I got a mess. So I can't leave it this way. As you can see, I had a little bit of a mess happen. So I got to clean all this up, pick up trash, those kind of things, put stuff away, and try to get the shop back in order. These are the other hand cleaning wipes that I really like. They work good. Also, you can take one of these and put it in the washing machine with your greasy clothes, and it'll bring them and make them look like brand new. It does good. Well, good morning. It's many days later. I didn't get a chance to record a whole bunch of stuff. Anyway, uh, this is going to be like a second ending. I got everything done with the air compressor, got all that put back together, and then took it for a test drive. And it did good until I had catastrophic alternator failure. And apparently the alternator had a crack in it that I didn't see, and one of them did. And me taking it off and then putting it back on and loosening and tightening the bolts had made the crack worse, which I didn't see. And then it came apart and it went ballistic inside the engine bay and got into the wires and all that. So it was a mad scramble to get this thing done. I was actually up until after midnight working on this to get it done because I got an alternator, got one put on, and I was having intermittent issues like check engine lights and things. So I knew I had a wire problem, and I ended up having to call a guy in that had a computer to hook to the bus, so it would tell me what to look for. And it ended up being one of the wires going to a crank sensor, and it didn't even nick it that bad. It was just bad enough though that it was shorting out. And but stand by, I'm going to show you what all I had to do, and then we'll end all this. Okay, as you can see here, there's actually two alternators, and then you can see how the one is a new one, the one on the bottom. And apparently the tabs, this tab right here, it had cracked right across there, and I didn't see it. And then the one on the bottom, and when it came apart, it came apart so violent that it broke the bolt off in the back. So I had to take all of this bracket off here, this whole thing, and we had to drill it and tap it and do all of that stuff. And then of course it took the belts out, and yeah, it was a big mess. And but we was in such a scramble to get it done that I didn't record any of it, and I apologize for that. I wish I could have recorded the whole job so you could have seen how that was done. But it was a mad scramble to get done. We had to get to Waco, Texas to do a show, and then get back here to do another show. And we actually left 2 hours late. By the time I got the guy here with the computer, we were already 2 hours behind schedule. We ended up making it to Waco 2 hours past our load-in time. So we pretty much had to load in, quick sound check, and do a show. And but anyway, I just wanted to update you on what was going on. And anyway, again, thank you guys for watching, and thank y'all for subscribing to my content here. And there's going to be many more videos on this thing and others as well. And until then, God bless you, stay safe, and we'll see you on the next one.